as we go live. Once again, getting more comfortable with our live stream. So I had a really good mythology for you guys today. This is a good one. This one's so good, I probably shouldn't even be technically, I probably shouldn't even be sharing it with you guys in just mass. Just everybody's gonna get up in here and learn what I'm breaking down today. But anyway, damn the rules, right? We don't play by rules. Anyway, we're gonna talk about, as soon as I can get the screen to move, we're gonna talk about the myth behind the Book of Thoth. So if you're up on your mythology, particularly your Egyptian, Kemetic, North African mythology, right? You're going to know about this guy who is Thoth, or Jehudi as he is righteously named. And actually, before we get going, I'm going to move my scroll up to the top because there's a warning that I'm going to drop some knowledge on you guys today, that Nine World Chronicles is in no way responsible if you decide to break into a tomb and steal a book that's cursed. So that's what that whole scroll that, I got it moving slow so you guys can read that thing. If you decide after seeing this video that you want to go and try to find this book, I just want you to be known. I want it to be known that I bear no responsibility for that, right? That's on you. That's on you. Because what I'm going to tell you about this book, behind the mythology of the Book of Thoth, is not to go after this book. That's the message in this. And in fact, everybody who's listening right now, if you're listening right now, I want you all to promise that you are not going to go out and look for the Book of Thoth, because this is a terrible story. This is not a story of triumph, unless your name is Thoth, okay? So we can all see Thoth right here. He's this handsome guy right here. He's one of my favorite Kemetic deities because he was all about knowledge, right? He was all about writing everything down. This is the smartest of the smart. So this is the advanced kid. He's like the smartest kid at MIT. That was Thoth. He was in part of this advanced divine pantheon, and among them, he was considered to be the wisest. So if you had any problems, you always, hey, Thoth, give me a hand. How do we figure this out? So this is who Thoth was, and Thoth has been talked about in all kind of mythology. Like the Greeks stole him. The Greeks call him Thoth. His name is Jehudi. That's why we know Thoth. But there's Hermes Trismegistus, I think is what the Greeks used. He's known by many names all over the world. Wherever you have who is your smartest god, it's usually referring back to this guy. So you can see this book here. It's a beautiful book, just a representation. This isn't the real book. I don't have the real Book of Thoth, unfortunately. But this book contains all of his knowledge. All the stuff that he had studied and wrote down, right, is in this book right here. So you can imagine, so the story behind this book is that if you get your hands on this book, you've got access to the secret knowledge of the universe. And it's all right there. Everything that you would need to know, mathematics, cosmology, how the universe actually functions together, right there in that book. And there's more. This is like when, you see in them products, they're like, yeah, not only do you get 8 steak knives, you also get whatever else. That's what you get with the Book of Thoth. Not only is it the greatest book of accumulated knowledge, it's also the most powerful spell book ever. It's also got a spell book inside of this book. So it's like you're getting 2 of the best books of all time for one price. Unfortunately, that one price is probably going to be your death. So let's talk about the mythology of this book. And what mythology tells us is that, these are just some representations. That this guy, Nefertem, was the most powerful magician, wizard in all of Kemet. That was this guy here, this OG right up here at the top, okay? And his story and connection to the Book of Thoth was that he figured out where it was hidden near the Nile. It had been buried deep in the Nile. And he used his magical abilities to unearth this book of magic, right? The most powerful book ever in existence. Nothing's even close. This is way better than the Da Vinci Code. And he has it, and because he has it, now he's got all this incredible power. He knows everything about the universe. He understands all knowledge, and it drives him crazy because there's a curse in the book. Now, first he finds this book near the Nile, and the mythology tells us that this book is buried deep beneath the Nile, and it's guarded by these immortal snakes. And when I mean like immortal snakes, I mean literally these snakes do not die. So what he has to do is break into this tomb, and he's got 2 of these immortal snakes. Well, first you break into the tomb, and then there's a scorpion that guards, a giant scorpion. mean, he uses his magic and he instantly paralyzes the scorpion. Which, wow, you think it's all over after this point, but no. Then you have to go and you have to battle these immortal snakes who you can't kill. You can chop their heads off. The head will just attach itself back to the body. Sometimes the body will grow a new head. It doesn't matter. You can't kill these snakes. But Nefertem was so powerful in his magic that he was able to defeat these immortal snakes. And actually captured the Book of Thoth in his own human hands. But you're not meant to hold this. So the gods are like, okay, well, we told you not to do this. And we had a warning, just like Nine World Chronicles got a warning at the top. This video does not endorse breaking into tombs and stealing cursed sacred text. That's what the scroll says. And that's what the gods said to him. We do not endorse you breaking in here and stealing our book of knowledge where we keep all of our secrets. So you know what? How about kill your own wife and kid and then commit suicide? And that's what he did. He killed his own wife and his own child and then committed suicide. And the book was buried with him. So he was entombed in the city of Memphis, right? In the necropolis at Memphis. They had him entombed there, right? And it's fine. And no, everybody knows, don't even go over there. Don't even go over there. Everybody stays away. And then generations later, this new Prince Jackass here, Senti, he's also a pretty powerful young magician. He says, you know what? I'm going to go after this book because I want to possess this knowledge. It's the Book of Thoth. I'm telling you, the Book of Thoth, this thing is harder to get. This thing is on back order forever. You're never going to get your Book of Thoth. I don't care where you put your order in. You think it's hard getting a PS5. This is impossible to get. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to go after the Book of Thoth. And he finds where Nefertem's tomb is buried, because this is where it's entombed now. And he gets in and he uses his magic and he pulls it up. And the ghost of Nefertem appears before him and says, look, you do not want to do this. Okay, trust me on this one. Let it go. But he says no. The young prince says, of course, no, I can't let it go. And he wants to persist. And he gets all the way to the book. And he has this event that happens. And he sees his life. He kills his own wife and his own child. He gets seduced by this woman. This beautiful, beautiful woman. And she convinces him that the only way that he can have her is that he has to completely denounce his family. He has to wipe his family off of the record. And that she was a follower of Bastet. So what he would have to do is kill his wife. First write a divorce decree. And then kill his wife. And then take his children and sacrifice his children to the goddess Bastet to prove that he was completely done with his family, wanted her. And he said, okay. He was with it. So he makes this move and he kills his family and he goes to embrace the woman and she turns into a rotting corpse right in his arms, which is gross. And nobody's gonna, you're gonna break it up. You know you're breaking up at this point, right? If you're a rotting corpse, we no longer go together. And so he's out. He doesn't understand. He's completely anguished. And the ghost of Nefertem comes back and says, see, that's what I told you. I gave you a vision of what was going to happen if you walked out of here with the Book of Thoth. Because I wanted to give you a chance to turn back. And he did. He took the Book of Thoth, he put it back, locked everything, cleaned up where he had messed up, resealed everything, because he knew that he couldn't possess the Book of Thoth, and no one should. So even though I'm telling all you guys right now that it's in Memphis, it's along the Nile, city of Memphis, you can find it if you hurry, because I know there's about 3 people are going to go. I'm not going to be there, and you see my stuff. If you guys get arrested or any of that stuff, chasing after this book of ultimate knowledge, it is there for you, and have at it. But if you tell them I sent you, I will deny you in court. That's how it goes down. But we are sharing some knowledge about one of the coolest characters in mythology, who just so happened to be the smartest guy, right? Thoth, who happened to be the smartest guy. So let's celebrate the smart guys for a change. Let's celebrate books for a little bit. Check out the Book of Thoth. There's some more information. I've done a couple of videos on Thoth as well, if you guys want to check it out. But I always like to dip in and do something live that's on my mind. Thank you again for stopping in at Nine World Chronicles. Subscribe, like, click, and watch more videos.